Hello, my name is Jill Rivero. I have a BS in biology, a clear single subject science teacher's credential, a master's in science education, and now I'm pursuing my special education teacher's credential. The reason I am pursuing my career in special education is because my husband and I have a son who is diagnosed with autism and has sensory seeking processing disorder. It has been 10 years of therapy, speech, occupational therapy, in-home ABA therapy, horseback riding therapy, etc. You name it. We've tried it. We have learned that it is crucial for children on the autism spectrum to receive early intervention. And our son is living proof of that. I've also taught 15 years in both public and private schools. I have taught outdoor, indoor classrooms, and I have always connected with quirky children. So I suppose my path has sort of been led here. The school where my son attends and where I also work at has hired me to be a one-on-one aide with several different students who are on the spectrum. Over the last 3 years, I have fallen in love with this line of work. I am utterly fascinated with the language, the jargon, the whatever you want to call it, of special education. My mother was a special education teacher, and she and I have had great conversations about student learning. I have learned so much from my own son and from his therapists, as well as all the specialists that my son has worked with over the years. And I am in awe of the different and dedicated special education personnel at our school, where students of all abilities are actually included in a full immersion model classroom. My background as a science educator literally has me fascinated about the brain, and my work with students on the spectrum has led to my intense interest in studying how they learn best, as every student learns differently. As an educator, I really strive to celebrate the small successes, and I want school to be a positive experience. It is ultimately these small successes that usually lead to a happier school experience and more enjoyable learning opportunities for both the student and the teacher. Through this course, I hope to learn more about the IEP process, not only for students I will work with, but also for my son. I recently had him reassessed, and I surprisingly learned that he has a visual processing disorder, which I knew nothing of. So I have learned through my own research that there are 8 different types, and I'm fascinated. I want to learn more. I have no idea how many types of sensory processing disorders there are, so that is one thing I really am interested in learning about. Secondly, I am hoping to learn about the history of special education in this country. My sister currently lives in Switzerland, and her oldest daughter is most likely on the spectrum. But believe it or not, they cannot diagnose her there. So my sister had to find a doctor from the UK who could at least do some of the assessments, and the doctor told my sister that the US and the UK are way ahead of other countries when it comes to diagnosing and providing resources for children with disabilities and special needs like autism. Thirdly, and finally, I would like to learn about the history of autism and where perhaps this diagnosis first was documented. I am very interested in historical anthropology and in ancient civilizations. So I'm very curious to see if autism has just been a recent diagnosis, or have there been instances in the past where children have just been labeled or misdiagnosed and instead sent to institutions where, of course, they would never develop into successful individuals that we know that they can be.